Chí tâm đảnh lễ Nam Mô Kim Cương Thường Sư. Chí tâm đảnh lễ Nam Mô Kim Cương Thường Sư. Chí tâm đảnh lễ Nam Mô Kim Cương Thường Sư.
Now, the Guru Padmasambhava practice. As I already mentioned, the principal practice of the Vajrayana is Guru. Guru of any sort. When we say Guru, we refer to a human being, human master. Sometimes when we say Guru, we refer to Guru Padmasambhava. Sometimes when we say Guru, we refer to Avalokiteshvara. So, sometimes when we pronounce Guru, we have a tendency of focusing, or referring to our own human master. And sometimes we refer to different deities. But that is, anyway, it's okay, but ultimately you have to understand that entire Guru's practices, there are thousands of different practices, comes together into Guru Yoga. The Guru. Guru is not only a human being, human master. Guru is not only a Guru Padmasambhava. The Guru is not only Avalokiteshvara. Guru is not only Amitabha. Guru is a combination of entire practice and entire realization. Gu stands for Guna in Sanskrit. Guna is the, how do you say? Guna is the quality, great quality, the quality of universe in this respect. The Guna is quality, and quality refers to the universal quality. And Ru stands for Rupa. Rupa actually is the combination, embodiment is the Rupa. Rupa in Sanskrit, it is a combination, combines together. So this time, in this respect, combines what? Combines, or how do you say, entire entity of the practice. The practice of Theravada, practice of Mahayana, practice of Vajrayana, and within Vajrayana we have hundreds of different practices, as you all know. You know, Nyingma school has hundreds of practices. Different school has Sarma has different sorts of practices. One master has hundreds of practices can be given. So many practices, but all combined together into a Guru Yoga. That is the thing. Guru is need to be seen as a combination of all the quality of the practice. And so this particular practice is Guru Yoga. Within Guru Yoga we have many types of Guru Yoga. External Guru Yoga, internal Guru Yoga, and secret Guru Yoga. There are lots of Guru Yogas, but this one is known as a secret Guru Yoga. Actually means it is the, how do you say, principle of Guru Yoga. It is the how do you say, yeah, the Supreme Guru Yoga, if you like. So the Guru Padmasambhava in this respect is the Nirmanakaya form. In this respect, the Guru Padmasambhava stands as a Nirmanakaya form of Buddha. And then in his body, in his heart or central body, it has Avalokiteshvara form, four-armed Avalokiteshvara form in this respect. But of course you can visualize two-armed or 1,000-armed, it doesn't matter. But in this respect, it's a four-armed Avalokiteshvara, which stands for a Nirmanakaya form of Buddha. No, Sambhogakaya form of Buddha. Sorry. The Guru Padmasambhava himself stands for Nirmanakaya form of Buddha. And then Avalokiteshvara stands for Sambhogakaya form of Buddha. Then inside of the body of Avalokiteshvara, central, you visualize Amitabha. Amitabha is the Buddha of the Dharmakaya form of Buddha. So that's three kayas. You understand? Three kaya. Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. Very, very important to understand this. You know, your guru needs to be understood as a Dharmakaya guru, Sambhogakaya guru, Nirmanakaya guru. If you refers to Buddha, you don't say guru, that's okay. Buddha also has Dharmakaya Buddha, Sambhogakaya Buddha, Nirmanakaya Buddha. That's very important to understand that way. Otherwise, you are not going to be understanding full sense of Guru. You are just understanding bits and pieces, but you are not understanding the Guru, the true Guru. So, very important. This practice is particularly very beautiful practice, I would say. This practices together the Guru Padmasambhava, external, inner Avalokiteshvara, and secret inside of the Avalokiteshvara, you visualize Amitabha. The three stands for Guru, but in the form of Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and then the Nirmanakaya form of Guru. So this particular practice is, I would say, is a unique that has given by Guru Padmasambhava himself to his consort, Yeshe Tsogyal. And then his Yeshe Tsogyal gave it to Virajana. And then, you know, the Virajana and Yeshe Tsogyal both gave it to their reincarnation, the Tertun. And then Trushik, Dongak Limba. Then to his own disciple Zatul, Dorji Cham, Zatul. And then Zatul gave it to my Guru, and my Guru gave it to me. So that is a lineage which is very close, very warm, very close, very short lineage. So my Guru, I don't know whether he visited Russia or not, but he visited quite a lot in Europe country and America, many countries in the world. Russia, I don't know. His name is Tushik. Tushik Nawang Chögyalodren, commonly called Trushik Rinpoche. So he was very kindly giving this method to me and asked me to spread all over the world in order to help beings. And this, he says, this practice will definitely be liberating lots of people from their own sufferings and cause of sufferings, misunderstandings, etc. Ignorant. So therefore I started to give this initiation and teachings wherever I go, hoping that some people will be enough to get the essence of it and put truly into the practice and can be transformed their life into a permanent bliss, permanent happiness and permanent realization. Dzogchen is the ultimate result that we have to be expecting out of this kind of Guru Yoga. That is ultimate anyway. But for the time being, Guru Yoga is the most principal important practice. Why? Because the Guru Yoga is the essential, skillful method of the Vajrayana. Be it Nyingma, the old tradition, or Sarma, the new tradition, Kadam tradition, whatever. The Vajrayana tradition has to be rely on Guru Yoga. And you may be practicing Kala Chakra, you may be practicing Chakra Sambhava, you may be practicing Avalokiteshvara, you may be practicing He Vajra, you may be practicing the Samadhiva, whatever. But entire practice has to be understood as a Guru Yoga. Even including the protector, the practice of protector, Mahakala practice, Mahakali practice, practice of all sorts of wrathful deities, Dharmapala. All the Dharmapala also needs to be seen as the emanation or aspect, different aspect and different emanation of Guru. Very, very, very important to have that sort of understanding. Why is it so? Now, I said many times it's very, very important, but you may sometimes some people, for some reason, they may ask some questions. Why is it so that Guru Yoga is very important? It's simply because Guru Yoga puts you into the path of simplicity, very simple practice, without needing to practice each of different deities and practices. For example, there is hundreds of practices together. There is hundreds of deities. For example, we have 50 over, that's just nothing but 50 over peaceful deities, wrathful deities, and 40 over peaceful deities, And all these deities you need to practice. Simply imagine you need to practice each of them separately. How many years does it take? It is impossible for you to finish the entire practice of all the hundreds of deities. So it is very much skillful method to put into a simple practice called Guru Yoga and mantra Om Aham Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Om, and that is good enough. That contains entire practice of the Buddhism, the entire practice of Mahayana and entire practice of Vajrayana. And in other words, we say Om Aham Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Om contains entire teachings of Lord Buddha. Thousands of volumes of teachings of Lord Buddha can be consolidated into the mantra Om Aham Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Om. Same with the Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum again contains entire teachings of Lord Buddha. Same with the Om Ami Deva Shi. It's the same thing. Entire teachings of Lord Buddha contains and consolidates in the mantra of Ami Deva, the Buddha Amitabha. So that is the reason why we have to concentrate in Guru Yoga, because if we are smart enough, we should be simplifying our life. Not only in the simplifying in our day-to-day mundane life, but also in our practice, spiritual practice, also should be simplified. Very much so. As I always say that we are already very confused, very complicated. Our life is very complicated. To deal with our relationship is very complicated already. Relationship with the friend, relationship with the girlfriend, boyfriend, brother and sisters, parents, children, nephews and cousins, and also the business partners, and also neighbors. We have lots of complicated relationships and complicated kind of a life already full. And on top of that, why do we want to go through the spiritual complication again? All these hundreds of different types of practices. It's so complicated. I feel also very complicated, When you don't know how to take them, it's just headache. It is too much. Which practice should be done? I don't know. There are hundreds of different beautiful practices are there. Which one I should be doing? You don't know. I wouldn't know. Just simply I wouldn't know. Every practices are equally beautiful, equally effective. So which one should I be doing? I don't know. It's a complicated, very complicated. So I always used to tell to my students that, don't make your life more complicated. You are already very complicated. So why you wanted to make your life more complicated, connected with the Buddha Dharma? You have to simplify your life. You met the Buddha Dharma, you met the Buddha Dharma's Guru, Masters. So now, ever since you met the Guru, you met Buddha Dharma, you have to be able to simplify your life rather than more complicated. Make yourself more complicated. That is what I always say. Simplifying is the most important. Simple. More simple. Simple in the material life, simplify in the spiritual life also. That is very important. Too much of complication makes life more difficult and more uptight and stress, you know. Even though you may be managing to practice so many mantras, so many sadhanas, so many gurus, so many deities, so many dakinis, you may be able to do practices, spending maybe 4, 5, 6 hours a day. You can do that, but that means you are complicating your life, you are stressing your life, you are giving yourself more tension, you know. So it's like your life is getting more stressful. Already stressful. But now you're giving yourself a more stressful life in the name of Buddha Dharma. And that is not right. To my understanding, it is not right. You should simplify your life. So that is what Vajradhara thought about, Buddha Shakyamuni thought about. Therefore Buddha Shakyamuni has given the Vajrayana, the quickest yana, the simplified form of the teaching of Lord Buddha. And the principle of the Vajrayana is the Guru Yoga. That is the method of simplifying one's own practice. So if you miss that beauty, then there is nothing left in Vajrayana. Vajrayana, a lot of different ritual practices are there, but these are just a branch of the Guru Yoga. It's not the principle of Guru Yoga, not the principle. It's a branch of the Guru Yoga. But if you do a lot of branch things, but there is no trunk. Tree, for instance, tree needs a trunk. Trunk has to be the looked after one. Then the branch comes out of the trunk, and very healthy and very sort of like, very healthy and very full of fruit. If you do not have the trunk, healthy trunk, then the lots of branch and lots of fruit, lots of flowers may be there, but it will not last because there's no trunk. So similarly, that the trunk is the Guru Yoga. So Guru Yoga has to be nourished, and it has to be looked after. It has to be practiced. It has to be understood. And then after that, all the ritual practices of different sorts of deities, and dakinis and gurus and etc. Mahakala and Mahakali and etc. etc. All the practices are equally very beautiful, and it will make a lot of sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make that much sense. You do hundreds of practices a day. It doesn't make any sense if you don't have a sense of Guru Yoga. Therefore, it is very important. That is also one of the reasons I feel also very proud of myself to be given this initiation for the first time. For the first time means I have given quite a number of time already, but it's for the first time, the first day of visiting, the visit to the St. Petersburg, and the first teaching or first initiation I gave is the Guru Yoga, the Guru Yangtik. This is known as a Yangtik, and I'm very happy to be able to give this, hoping that you all can get some meaning of it and try to put together with your day-to-day life. That is very important. Guru Yoga actually doesn't mean, again, Guru Yoga doesn't mean you go with the mala and then do Om Aham Beza Gurbe Masadev, only reciting Om Aham Beza Gurbe Masadev and nothing. That is not the Guru Yoga. That is the mantra of Guru Yoga. But mantra actually means a mind has to be involved. Understanding needs to be there. Man is the, the mind. In Sanskrit, man, mana, man. So the mind has to be involved. The understanding has to be there. The wisdom has to be developed. That is the principle of Guru Yoga. Mantra is one thing. Prostration is one thing. Mudra is one thing, very important. Mudra is one thing. But these are the second important things. The first priority, the most important, the essence of the Guru Yoga is the mind involvement, the understanding involvement, the understanding. What is Guru? When you do the mantra, also at the same time, you should apply your application, your implementation. What is your implementation should be there is the understanding of the Guru, the real, true Guru. That is what I have already mentioned to you. Gu stands for what? Ru stands for what? That tells quite a lot. Ru stands for the combination. It's the entire universal truth, is the Ru. And Gu is the quality of the universe. The power, the beautiful quality. I mean, there are millions, billions, and trillions of the beautiful quality. I can't really just pronounce them tonight over here. So the entire quality of the universe is in this practice. That's Gu. So Gu and Ru, Guna, Rupa. So that is very important now to understand. Guru. Okay? So in our Tibetan language we say Lamai Naljur, Guru Yoga. So yoga in Sanskrit is nothing but the implementation, the process of implementing the contemplation, implementing the mantra, implementing the supplication. All these process are yoga. 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 So that is the thing. In English, it is maybe you can call it like a implementation. And I don't know in your language, you have the great translator, they can translate into something. But yoga is it's a very vast thing. It's not a very simple one. It's a very vast thing. You can interpret it in thousands of different ways. But in this case, it's an implementation. You are implementing your understanding and bring it up in the level of your view. And then you just view on it and meditate on and experience it. That is what sometimes you can call it meditation. You can call it familiarization. You can just familiarization. You have to familiarize. Otherwise, even if you understand a lot, that just remains in your, what I would say is a nonsense box. The head is full of nonsense. Just put it into the nonsense box and then locked it. It is just full of nonsense. But that doesn't mean anything if you do not need to implement it. I mean, if you do not manage to implement it. So you have to implement it. Implement it, actually, what I mean by is to bring it down to the heart. And not only to the heart, but then through heart, you should be acting, you should be pumping. Heart should be pumping, and heart, the brain sends the message to the heart, and heart should be pumping, and then the entire veins and movements of the body get into the way. So that is the thing. So the heart should be pumped, and heart should really be acting, creating the action. So that the action. So love needs to be act. Love needs to be act. The compassion should not be lying in the head. It has to be act. So the act of compassion is love. Love has to be act and interfering with the people, interfering with the animal, interfering with the environment, and look after the environment. For example, these days, people are now a little bit talking a little bit about the environment. Before, let's say 20 years ago, 30 years ago, people don't care about the environment. Now that is the reason why now, how many chaotics happening in the world. So many people are dying. So many people are having tons of problems. They call it natural disaster. Natural disaster, but that's not natural disaster. It is a man-made disaster. We made it. Karmically, we made it. We abuse the environment. We abuse the animal, like what I said earlier. We kill them. We eat them. Trees, we deforest them. We just cut them down and we just destroy them to make a little bit of money for us. So we just do all sorts of nasty things. We are the terror. We are the most cruel one. This is what I said. So that is the reason why I say it's we are the doing like this, and that is the reason why, how do you say, we should be, how do you say, we should be telling ourselves not to be like that. And that's, I'm talking too much, so I shouldn't be talking that much. We should concentrate on Guru Yoga, okay? So that is the thing. Guru Yoga, yes. Yoga, yes. We should really change our behaviors. That is yoga. Yoga, yoga is a transformation, implementation, whatever. Yoga is really like the action. It is but action itself has a different sorts of subtle action and growth action and visible action. There are many actions, but anyhow, it is very important to be able to act. Compassion should be acting, and love has to be acted, and devotion has to be acted. Devotion is very good, but devotion, just put it in the head and mind, doing nothing, is no good. You have to do something. Devotion has to be doing something. When the devotion comes in the action, then you will be serving lots of people in this world, lots of animals in this world, lots of natures in this world. When the devotion comes into action. Compassion, same thing. When compassion comes into action, then the love comes. Love is the one that really you will be interact with the people and beings around. And you will never be harming people. Instead, you will be helping 24 hours. So this is the thing. This is what we call Guru Yoga. So the Guru Yoga comes in a one huge package. It is not something like one small practice, like a small mantra. Okay, you do the mantra, Om Am Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Om, and keep quiet and do nothing. That is not the way. Guru Yoga is a universal, as I mentioned. Guru Yoga, Guru is the combination of universal quality. So this actually means you have a big responsibility and you will be happily taking it. It is not something that it's a burden for you. That is not going to be an obligation for you. It is not going to be a sense, it will not be a sense of obligation or a burden. For sure, you will be happily involving in it and acting it. So that is what really tells you the quality or beauty of the Guru Yoga. So until then, you can tell yourself that you are not accomplished Guru Yoga practice. You know? Generally speaking, we sometimes say, oh, Guru Yoga is a devotion. Means, you know, you always have to doing some supplication, prostration, and run after your Guru, and that's it. And whatever he say, you have to listen. There's one guy, he's there, and you have to listen 100%, like Milarepa did to Marpa, or the Pang Mibam Gombo to Virochana, and Virochana to Guru Padma Sambhava, something like that. We misunderstand this kind of thing. That is not true. Externally, it may be true in some extent, but innerly, the real Guru Yoga is not only that. It really gives you the holistic understanding of universe. That is a very huge aspect and huge kind of a practice. And that is something that you have to understand. You can also, when you read Milarepa's biography or the biography of Virochana, you will understand what sort of dedication that they have developed, what sort of devotion that they have developed. You will understand. You have to read it carefully and many times, not only just people said so or I heard so. Not only like that, you have to read it not only one time, but you have to read it closely at least 10 times or dozens. Then you will understand what is really kind of dedication that they have really put their life to, and what kind of devotion that they had. Then you will understand. Not simply just very loyal to his own master Marpa. That's all. That's not like that. There are more depth that you can sort of study and practice, or study and understand. Very much depth, deep down. There's a lot of depth that you have to go through. You will find. So I'm not going to take that much of time. I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of holistic kind of idea of Guru Yoga. That's a very important. Otherwise, I think you have the Vietnamese. I don't know Vietnamese who are here in Russia had that much of exposed to different gurus or not. I don't know in Vajrayana, but the Russians practitioners definitely have been, come across with different masters and different teachings and different Guru Yogas, etc., etc. But therefore, I'm very much like voluntarily coming up with telling you some holistic idea of Guru Yoga. That is, I think, very important. I don't know about the about in the Russia, because this is my first time, but different places in Europe, different places in America, in Southeast Asia, wherever I go, people always stuck with the Guru Yoga. They somehow have a misunderstanding, here or there, the one way or another, they have a misunderstanding. And then they get stuck. And then they go nowhere. They get nothing. They get nothing. But then they practice. Poor thing. I think it's a very poor thing, for them. They practice. They keep on practicing, but they get stuck because they don't know what they're doing. And really, the holistic idea of Guru Yoga is not there, no longer there. And they get stuck with the one particular kind of sadhana and one particular kind of mantra, and then that's it. And then they go nowhere because they have no holistic kind of understanding about Guru Yoga or Guru himself. Yoga, forget it right now. But Guru, first Guru, you have to understand what is really the Guru, You shouldn't get stuck with one human being. That is not so good. One human being, yes, he is a very qualified Guru. He must be a very qualified Guru. He must be a very compassionate Guru. He must be a very realized Guru. But doesn't matter. You should also, you should understand the reality state of the Guru, him, the person. Reality state, that is the thing. Reality state is a very important, rather than the, physical state of the Guru, or the material state of the Guru. We have a very strong tendency to get stuck with the physical form of the Guru, physical form of the Guru. And then you get, you sort of like stuck means you get fanatically stuck. That is the reason why sometimes we get sectarian also, Oh, I'm so-and-so, disciple of so-and-so and so. I took refuge from so-and-so master. So this means like a, kind of sectarianism, you get sectarianism. That is also not good. But I'm not saying that you should go through a non-sectarian also. I'm not saying that also, because nowadays, speaking about the sectarianism, nowadays sectarian also become a different form of sectarian itself. Those people who say non-sectarian become a big fanatic sectarian. They have their own group, and they have their own philosophy, and they have their own methodologies and arguments, and very strong fanatic way of thinking. And sometimes they just don't like anybody. They hate everybody. Something like that. I come across with some of these kind of people. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that way. That is not good. So non-sectarianism, there are some people like that, I shouldn't say that, but I wouldn't also mention the name of it. But I came across with some people, some other places. I don't want to say where also, but I met some people. And I just, naturally, I didn't mean something very serious. I just naturally asked them, what sort of practice are you doing? And, how many years have you been practicing, or something like that. Just normal questions. But they got very irritated. They got very angry. They said, we are non-sectarian. We don't know. We don't have we don't have a, how do you say, guru. We don't have guru. Because we are non-sectarian, we don't have guru. And then did you practice? Have you been practicing something? No, we're non-sectarian, we're not practicing. So they don't practice also in the name of non-sectarian. So then I feel quite funny, but I'm not criticizing them. They may be having a very good reason why they say that. But I thought it was quite peculiar, you know. And plus, whatever they say, I wouldn't mind, but they got very angry. When I say that, they got very angry. So this actually means they are very fanatic about the idea of non-sectarian. That is not right. So sectarian is also not good, non-sectarian is also not good, I would say. So that the both are not very good. You have to be having one particular practice, that is for sure, with the understanding of combination. You understand the union of all entire practice is in my mantra, in my practice. This is what you have to understand. Be it Gilukpa, be it Sakyapa, be it Nyingmapa, be it whatever, you know, all the practices, even the Theravada, even the Mahayana Sutra, Mantra, Tantra, every practice is combined together into Guru Padmasambhava mantra. This is what you have to believe, and you have to have a devotion. That is the devotion that we are talking about. Should not have the other way around, you know. I'm a practitioner of Guru Padmasambhava. I'm a practitioner of the Guru Yangtik. So now, from now on, I'm the practitioner of Guru Yangtik. I like that, I love that. I don't know anything other than that. So it's just to push them away, you know, and with the sense of anger, with the sense of, you know, like aversion, you know. And aversion should not be there, attachment should not be there, but at the same time, aversion has to be avoided. You know, it's a very crucial point you have to understand. You just should not be pushed in, and I'm the best. The other ones are not good. You should not say that. The other ones are also, you should be embracing in the method of Guru Padmasambhava's mantra. That's it. That is whatever you may call it, doesn't matter. You can call it sectarian, you can call it non-sectarian, doesn't matter. But your practice should be like that. You always should be embracing entire practice. I would even say you can embrace even the Christianity, even the Catholic or whatever, Orthodox or whatever, you know. You just embrace everything. There are beautiful practices there. And even the Hinduism, even the non-Buddhist, Bonpo or whatever, you know, any kind of, all the practices are beautiful. You have to embrace, but you cannot practice all of them at the same time. So therefore you just embrace with them, all of them, with the method of Om Aham Vajra Guru Padmasambhava. This is the thing. This is the kind of a beauty of the practice of the Guru Yoga. So otherwise, then you push them away, and then my practice is the best. And then the other ones are, you know, so-so. Maybe saying, but not so good. I don't know. So, you know, you just sort of like a little bit of anger, a little bit of disliking kind of feeling. And that's not right. And then it's very fanatic. And whatever the fanaticism involves with your practice is the poison. It is the poison. Especially the Vajrayana practice. Always, you know, the Vajrayana practice always talks about the fault of the fanaticism. Fanatic is no good, because the view is Mahamudra, view is Dzogchen. With that view, one can never be fanatic. Practitioner can never be fanatic. along with any kind of practices. Should never be prevented. So if she or he is a phonetic conjunction with some practices, this means he is not Dzogchen practitioner. She is not Dzogchen practitioner. She can be a practitioner of something else, but not Dzogchen practitioner, for sure. Not Uma Chembo, the Madhyamaka practitioner. No way. He or she is not at all Mahamudra practitioner, for sure. For sure. As long as, you know, as soon as you came to know that he or she is phonetic, you can tell 100% that he is not a Mahamudra practitioner. He is not the great perfection Dzogchen practitioner. That for sure. And Madhyamaka as well. So that is very important. So sorry to keep you there to listen to my gossip a bit long, but I thought it's important to know. You know, it is very important to know because you are more or less newcomer, I would say. You know, more or less. Anyway, some of you maybe 20 years, 30 years have been practicing, but still I can say you are new to the Buddha Dharma. I can say. So you have to really understand these things very well, you know, so that you will be, again, go back to simplifying. You will be very simple, very comfortable, very happy. Yet you will be practicing Guru Padma Sambhava one-pointedly, without anger, without sort of like a hatred, without having uncomfortable feeling with other schools, other believers, other deities, other centers, other lamas, other rinpoches, other masters. You don't have to feel that sort of feeling, you know, uncomfortable. You will be feeling very comfortable with everybody, even non-Buddhist also. Why not? You know, very good. As long as they help people, they help beings, what's wrong with that? Very good. They don't do the mantra because they are not Buddhists. It doesn't matter. They do their own things. Muslims, they shout. They shout and they have a big loudspeakers and they shout. You know, they have their own thing to say. Hinduism, they have their own Gita to read and chant and shout. We have our own thing. Doesn't matter. We all have something different thing to do. Very good. Why not? You know, we all dress differently. We all have a hair color different, hairstyle different. You know, we have a different way of looking, different way of nose, different eyes, different skins. We have different people, different society, different religion, has a different things to do. Why not? Very beautiful. You know, we have to respect each other. That doesn't mean that we should be doing everything at the same time. We can't. Simply we can't. We don't have time. So we do one thing without any hatred, with the sense of embracing them, with the devotion. This is what we call devotion, respect, sense of respect. So we are very comfortable, and that is the way how you practice the Vajrayana. You know, so feel very comfortable, feel very simplified, and that is the kind of a simplicity that we want in our practice. And then we will definitely, with that simplicity, we will definitely accelerate the path of the enlightenment within a life. Why not? Milarepa got enlightened within the life. Marpa got enlightened within the life. Rechungpa got enlightened within the life. Many of the great masters, they got enlightened within the life. Why not us? We can also get enlightened within our life. So that is the beauty of it, and so that is the beauty of the Guru Yoga practice. So therefore I just want to say something about the beauty so that you will also sort of like encourage yourself. Otherwise, if I don't tell anything and do the practice straight away, you wouldn't know what is the beauty of it, and then you wouldn't be encouraged also. Of course, many of you have maybe already developed the encouragement prior to coming to this hall tonight, but still, you need more encouragement, for sure, because, I mean, same as me, myself also. I have been practicing like ever since age of 8 or age of 9, you know. Ever since then till now, I'm an old man, but still I need a lot of encouragement. I need a lot of encouragement, you know. So many years of practices doesn't mean anything. I need an encouragement all the time. And I need an encouragement, also different sorts of encouragement from different angle, you know, different angle and different kind of a, manifestation. So, for example, one of my main encouragement is you guys. You guys are over here, and for some reason, looking at you guys, getting lots of encouragement for me. I can feel it. This is maybe just a previous karma which we have developed already many years ago, or many lives ago, who knows, you know. So I feel very great, even though of course that's a very small group, as I mentioned earlier, very small, the smallest group I think I have had in my life, but that's a warmest group, I would say. Smallest but warmest, very hot, very warm, really encouraging group for me. That is the reason I was, you know, this is the encouragement that made me talk too much. Otherwise I wouldn't talk. For this kind of small group, I will just do some ritual practices and then go and sleep, you know. And I have a back pain, you know, the back problem, the spine problem a little bit, so I can't sit that long. And I can't sit on the chair, and I can't sit on the throne. This throne is very high and very small, you know, very high but small. So it's not very healthy throne, I would say, to sit on a long time. I wouldn't like to sit, and I wouldn't like to take that long time. But very much encouraged, so then I was very happy to talk more and more for, you know, that is encouragement that I'm talking about. And I'm very much appreciative, very much so.
Xin các Phật tử giờ trong số 6.
Chini sepe londo
number in it.
Emma
When you recite visualize yourself as a Guru Padmasambhava very clearly and got the initiation of the body Nirvana Kaya form of the Guru. Om Vedra Guru Bema Siddhi 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 Om Vedra Guru Vedra Guru Bema Sede Om Mahum Vedra Guru Bema Sede Om Mahum Vedra Guru Bema Sede Om. And together with that, we will give the vast nectar. That nectar is the initiation of the body. It means the Nirmanakaya initiation of Guru Padmasambhava. And that you have to have it, and then you have to put on your crown and visualize that nectar coming from crown and fill it up, and your body become a Nirmanakaya, same as Guru Padmasambhava, transformed into Guru Padmasambhava's form while you are reciting Om Ahum Vedra Guru Bema Sede Om, and the vast nectar will be giving. Jitrakam Patsam Generanam Kunja Chusur the Pai Chudi Tapai Deshin the Onguro Savata Kata Bigaka the Samai Shri Durja Kamro Durja Kamsum Kungi Charges and Yet Kungi Sons Telejo Abigaka the Samai Shri Oma Om Vedra Guru Bema Sede Oma Om Vedra Guru Bema Sede Oma Om Vedra Guru Bema Sede Oma Bema Sede Om Vedra Guru 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 Bema Sede Om reciting Om Mani Padme Hum Shri, and that is the mantra of Avalokiteshvara that really gives the understanding of Sambhogakaya form of Buddha. That is the Sambhogakaya form of Guru, you can say. So that is the Avalokiteshvara, and that blessing comes in the form of Amrita, and that is going to be given right now, and that will have to be drank, and through your throat chakra, the chakra of the Sambhogakaya, and that through that chakra, then it dissolved into the entire system of the body, and then you get the realization of the Sambhogakaya form of Guru. And that is what you have to visualize while you are reciting the mantra of Om Mani Padme Hum. And also, at the same time, the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum basically comes from the Guru's heart, or the Avalokiteshvara's heart, and then goes into your body and become inseparable from your system of the body, and that actually means the entire mantra blessing. Now you get the mantra blessing, which is the blessing of the speech of the universe, speech of the Buddha, speech of the Guru, whatever you may call it. Om Mani Then Om Ami Devashi. Om Ami Devashi is the mantra of the Dharmakaya. So Dharmakaya is the entire universe. Universe, Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the kind of a, what do you call that? The entire entity or the entire sort of the nature of the entire universe. So therefore, it is the mind, if you like, mind of Guru or the mind of Buddha. That is the entire universe, you know. So that is the thing. So here we are going to give you the mandala on top of your crown, and that you visualize that the mandala, how do you say, dissolve. The Guru Padma Sambhava mandala dissolves into your body, and then your mind becomes inseparable from the mind of Guru Padma Sambhava, which is the Dhammakaya. Lunga yisum na nisum na temperature me ba che shin za hum pama ho za hum pama ho za hum pama ho za hum pama ho tom na de Yangtik tom na za hum pama ho za hum pama ho za hum Meditate on the non-fabricated state of mind. That is the true ultimate Guru. The true ultimate Guru Padmasambhava, Avalokiteshvara, and also Amitabha. The true nature of the entire Buddha Dharma and also the Guru, Daga, Dagini. All these entire practices needs to be understood. Ultimately, the Dzogchen, the Mahamudra, which is to be realized within our mind. The mind should be left unfabricated state of the realization. Leave it just like that, without any thought of any sort. Now with this meditation, or the whatever you may call it, leaving yourself into calm and non-fabricated state of mind, is the process of realizing the mind, the reality state of mind, which is the Guru Yoga, the Guru. The real Guru is the state of the mind which is non-fabricated. Primordially it is non-fabricated, but of course we fabricate it up. So then the mind appears as if it is very much fabricated, and mind is very much wandering all the time. It's nothing wrong with it also. Mind can be wandered. Mind can be bad, mind can be good, mind can be happy, mind can be sorrow. Doesn't matter, that's just an aspect of the mind. But mind itself, the nature of the mind, never have been fabricated. That is the nature. So therefore, we also should leave mind on its own nature, non-fabricated way. We should be doing that. That is the only thing what we should need to do. That's all. We don't need to do anything else, any other things. We don't really sort of put ourselves very much into it and making some mind into a very good, lovely mind, very beautiful mind. We don't think about that. We don't do that. We don't have to think about, say, making mind very beautiful mind, very loving mind. That sort of that's another fabrication you are doing. So you just leaving the mind itself is good enough. So leave the mind non-fabricated, because the nature is non-fabricated. So therefore you have to see the nature. So in order to see the nature, you have to leave yourself non-fabricated way. Now that is the secret of the Dzogchen practice, or the Guru Padmasambhava's practice. Very, very important. Most of our practitioners, we are, as I mentioned before, we are complicating ourselves. We are fabricating too much in the name of practices. We are fabricating too much. It's not good. Actually, you should not be making anything out of anything. Just leave as it is and look at it. Without looking at it, that's no good. But leave it and then look at it. Look means like be aware. Otherwise, if you don't have awareness in the process of meditation, then you get lost. You are like a dull, very much dull, very ignorant and dull, not very clear. And that's not good. That wouldn't help. Then at the end, then you get asleep, you fall asleep. That is the kind of a ending part of the meditation. That is not right. Many of us, we do practice of meditation. We do a Dzogchen practice. We do Chapchen Mahamudra practice. And at the end, we fall asleep. We go like this. But that's not right. That means we are not managing to put the spine, clarity state of the mind. Clarity state of mind and luminosity state of mind is a very, very important state of the mind itself. Mind is not nothing. It's not nothing. Mind is something. Mind has an aspect very important aspect, two aspects. One is the clarity state of the mind, which is a very difficult, very important aspect. We should not miss that. And the other one is the emptiness, the emptiness. The emptiness means the nothingness part of it, voidness part of the mind. That has to be understood. Very important. If you do not have this true understanding of the mind, then you cannot do Dzogchen practices. Mahamudra practices may not be able to do it because there is nothing to practice if you do not have these two. Just sitting cross-legged and then appear like externally you are doing practice, but then if you do not know these two things, then you are not doing anything. Sometimes you may be doing even, a wrong thing. You can be. Very wrong meditation. Wrong meditation will bring you to a big problem also. That is very, the risk is there. Very risky. So therefore, we should not take this risk. So the meditation is very important, but at the same time, it is very important to do it very correctly, especially when it comes to Mahamudra practice, when it comes to Dzogchen practice, needs to be practiced very clearly, very nicely. Theravada practice, for example, that is very easy. I also used to do Theravada practice when I was young. It's very, very easy, relatively very easy. They just want to, the Theravada practice, we say, block our sense. And just block the senses. And then relax. Relax on that moment. Just block the sense. If you can manage to block, then that is very good Theravada practice. But here, it's not only blocking. The blocking is maybe there, but actually, more importantly, we have to see the clarity state of mind and the emptiness state of the mind. These two are very much visible, should be visible. And you have to view on that. And viewing on that is the meditation. And then leave it non-fabricated way. That's a complicated, but this is the way how you do it. So if you, that is very important. You remember, you have to remember these two. One is the clarity state of the mind. If you could manage to put the clarity state of mind in front, you may not fall asleep, for sure. But if you do, the minute you miss the part, the clarity state of the mind, then you fall asleep. Even if you do a meditation will end up in a deep sleep. That is not right. The Longchenpa, Gyalwa Longchenpa said very clearly that, if you do fall into a trap of the, darknesses, then that kind of meditation will take you to an animal realm. As a bird, next birth, you will be as a result, you will be going to the, seeding the seed of the animal realm. So that means we don't want to be born as an animal. So you want to be liberate yourself. So as a liberation, you need to be clarifying, a clarity state of mind. That is very important, very, very important. And then at the same time, you need to be understanding the emptiness state of the mind, the emptiness, the nothingness, the voidness. And if you can't manage to do that, then you still be in the samsara, no matter what sort of, how good you are at meditation, you are still going to be in the samsara. Either in the human realm, or the God realm, or goddess realm, or the demigod realm, I don't know, whatever the realm that you are going to be. It depends on the karma, but karma will not be stopped because the missing clarity, missing the emptiness state of the mind. So if you miss that, you will definitely miss the opportunity to get enlightened, because you will be stuck in the samsara. Because the karma will be there, karma will never stop. To stop one's own karma, you need to understand the total nothingness part of the state of the mind. Very important. Emptiness. So that is the thing. So that is all about, like that's all I think tonight as an initiation. If you do understand all these things, it is the initiation. If you don't know these things, then vase, and the nectar, and the water, piece of water, and the mandala comes on the crown and touching your head, that only doesn't make that much of sense. You have to understand at the same time what's all about. That is very important. So, with that, the initiation of Yangtik finished, and then according to the request, what they have put, the dance will be there. So there is a dance. Actually, means Lama, when they call it commonly Lama dance, it means the spiritual dance that who has been dancing. Those great yogis and gurus back in India, when they realize the Buddha nature, then they dance to celebrate themselves, because they have fully liberated. So then they dance. So ever since then, the dancing lineage, the lineage of dance carried down, non-stop, how do you say, non-stop and non-stop, lineage non-stop, carried down until now. So this is what we are going to do. So that is what we call, if you have a devotion, if you have an understanding of shunyata, understanding of clarity, state of mind, as I mentioned, understanding of what Guru is, then if you have that much of devotion, then this dancing is also itself is a sight liberation, we call it. When you have a sight of it, you liberate certain sufferings, certain unwanted event, unwanted incident, and obstacles, etc. All these will be liberated. So therefore it is very much Vajrayana, it's very much meaningful. Nam Kuncho Nam Zaleto Miraola Kunjuti Dorje Sishinya Chupashe Majuri So now the the actual refuge has been already given at the beginning of the initiation, but now the name will be distributed. So those of you who register here can come up and get this thing. And before that, we process of offering mandala. Then after that, you all can stand up and come up. Right now, maybe sit down. After mandala offering, then you all can come up and join together.
Terima